Okay, so half an hour before the Dow opens, I'm looking at the daily charts. So as you can see, we're on a bit of a downtrend at the moment. In a wider range there's a range we've got going on here all the way back since what, middle of Feb. Bundled along, we've pushed up into this higher range, and now we seem to be falling back down into the middle of the lower range banding. We've got the MAs all starting to turn downward, giving it a bit of a bearish focus. Price having actually moved below the 100 moving average as well. So again, more bearish signs. So it could be interesting to see what happens today. Does it hold this level? I suspect now we've got a pretty strong candle again. This is pre-market openings. This is all futures right now. Yesterday, just short with DOJI, but yeah, it's looking a bit undecisive at this point. So following that downtrend, a bit of indecisiveness with both buys pushing back as well as the sells. So we're in an interesting territory. Consideration potentially for a small buy opportunity. Relatively tightish stop loss, maybe a push back up into this area, but yeah, it's looking a bit bearish at the minute. So if we jump down into the hourly range, so as you can see with the hourly range, you've got a channel forming. So you're pushing along the channel, bit of a breakout, false breakout, push stab, and down we continue. So now we're at the lows from the previous 2 days. It's a good opportunity for a very small trade, potentially to the long side, to try and catch a bit of this retrace, maybe back up to these sorts of levels, which will still give us a lower high around 259.50, 60 or something like that. Again, stop should have to be a little bit further away. In fact, literally looking at this as we are now, it could be a time to throw a trade in. Really should have done a bit of analysis on this morning. Okay, let's see what. So whilst it's looking bearish, we are at this sort of previous support point, so that may very well hold and give us a bit of a retrace up into these areas. So let's have a look what the 5-minute chart is saying. 5-minute charts, we've had a touch, we've touched again. You know what? I'm gonna have a quick look at this. So let's bring this onto the screen. Let's have a look what we've got. So we'll be looking to, for the Dow, we're looking to buy. At this point, I'm happy to risk 2% of the bank. My entry price is at 257.80. 257.80. Actually, what's this here? If I can get to that, 257. Yeah, that's fine. So, what will that give me? A risk of 257.68. It's a little bit too close. I need a bit more than that. Let's drop that down. Drop that. Gives me 257.60. Pushes down to this area here. I'm quite sure we've breached that then. This next candle could be interesting. Down, continuation trend here. So that could be 257.70. Let's not doing that. 50. Yeah, interesting. As this candle's playing out, with the previous touches here, low touch, burst pushing through again. What are we down on the day in the futures? We're down almost 0.7% in the futures market. You know, I might expect it to give a little bit of that back on the bounce, on the open. Kind of negating the trade at this point, unless this really is the bottom. 750 is here. What to do? Okay, we're going to leave this for now. We'll see how this pans out. What we can do though is drop back up to the hourly chart. Let's extend these a little bit. Keep those in mind. Just pull that again. Let's just bring these back in line with each other. There we go. Okay. So again, this is looking bearish now. We're potentially on for, that's a strong hourly candle taking shape there. Granted, it's certainly into the hour, but that's a bit of a push down. Interesting. Okay, so that's the Dow. We'll leave for the time being and see what opening brings. Okay, so we've had this bit of a pullback. We've broken the previous support zones that we were targeting. Big moves down, lots of red candles. Did drop, had a bit of a retrace. Second candle form was looking quite bullish at one point, but as you can see, lots of indecisions drop back down. Next candle form is red, so we're pulling away. So purely on this short-term candle pattern analysis, decided to go with a short trade, stop loss just above the highs here, to allow us to take a short trade down to this particular region. Small stakes. Again, it's not something I'm used to doing, is trading off these smaller time frame candles in terms of the shapes and so on, but trade is in, and let's see what happens. Okay, so quick update to that trade. We've got a nice downward push. We are a few minutes away from the actual market opening, so I've moved the stop loss to break even. Nice short trade. I'm tempted to let this run, see where it goes. My only concern is we're already down 0.76% on the Dow, so I'm contemplating just taking a small bit of profit on that trade. Risk return reward on that was obviously wouldn't be great if I now opt to do that, but it would be a positive trade for the day on something that I wouldn't normally try. Well, certainly would try, but not necessarily in these time frames, and I'm just a bit concerned. Kind of looking for this area 25,700 on an initial push down. But yeah, the market opening can always be a bit volatile, so tempted to take the money, but also thinking of the wider strategy, 1 in 4 if I'm going to go into these things, to leave it be. Do you know what, I think let's go as planned. Let's leave it down to the bottom end of this channel, see if it does make a touch. Be around about here, so we'll leave that in play. So we've added the limit to that. Should have done that as part of the trade, but that's okay. And yeah, we'll see where this goes. Probably a bit of a push up on opening is going to close that out, but just as well, if it does have a bit of a surge down, then you know what, so be it. But again, let's wait and see what happens. So just a quick update on the trade then. So as we can see, we placed a trade on the formation of this DOJI. As you can see, it pushed south on open. I was a bit nervous because we were already down 0.76%, I think it was, on the day, on the futures, sorry. Did push down at 257.20, as we can see. At that point, I could have taken my daily profit target, but opted to let it run. And as you can see, it's popped back up and closed the trade for break even. So nothing lost, bank protected. But again, another opportunity to have taken my daily points target if I was to adopt that philosophy and approach, but not to be, but still it's worth recording the thought process at the time. So now not too sure where we're going to go, but down does seem the preference at the moment. Okay.